Bible certainly is one of, if not, I mean, it is the book.
Let's pray together, may we?
Yes. I believe in God. I am Christian. I'm a Protestant. I'm very proud of it. Presbyterian, to be exact.
I'm Presbyterian. Boy, that's down the middle of the road, folks, in all fairness. I mean, Seventh-day Adventist, I don't know about.
I have great relationship with God. I have great relationship with the evangelicals. And I go to church a lot. Always on Christmas, always on Easter, always when there's a major occasion. And during the Sundays, I'm a Sunday church person. I like to do the right thing where I don't have to actually ask for forgiveness. When we go in church and when I drink my little wine, which is about the only wine I drink, and have my little cracker, I guess that's a form of asking for forgiveness, and I do that as often as possible because I feel cleansed. We were having fun when I said, I drink the wine, I eat the cracker. If I do something wrong, I think I just try and make it right. I don't bring God into that picture.
My wife and I pray for you.
Thank you. Well, I need it probably more than anybody in this room. You can stay if you want it because you need the prayer more than I do, I think. I want to just pray for Arnold if we can for those ratings. I can understand the evangelicals to a certain extent saying, well, maybe he's not as nice as we want him to be, but they also want to see the country be great.
Why do you think those voters are drawn to you?
Well, I'm Protestant, I'm Presbyterian, which means something. Maybe he's not as perfect on the Bible, but I did go to Sunday school for many years, I want to tell you. I get sent Bibles by a lot of people.
Where are all those Bibles anyhow now?
Well, actually, we keep them in a certain place, a very, very nice place. My second favorite book of all time. What's my first favorite book? The Bible. The Bible is special. The Bible, the more you see it, the more you read it, the more incredible it is.
Are you an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal Proverbs, the chapter, never bend to envy. I've had that thing all of my life where people are bending to envy. 2 Corinthians, right? 2 Corinthians 3:17. That's the whole ball game. There's no way I would ever do anything to do negative to a Bible. God is the ultimate. I mean, God created this. And, here's the Pacific Ocean right behind us. So, nobody, no thing, there's nothing like God.
So, when I came back, I wanted to primarily post, dealing with the dietary wisdom of the great apes, health, wellness, things of that nature. However, on Gab, it's highly disturbing to me how many people on Gab are mesmerized by the anti-American politician and former President Donald Trump, which led me to, now remember, Donald Trump puts who first? Israel first. Not America, Israel. We've already dealt with this the last time he was in office, okay? So you have to remember, Israel, the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, halted a bill that he supported, which was an anti-Christian bill that would throw Christians in prison for proselytizing. That means part of what Christianity is, remember, Christ told his followers. Now, none of this bothers me very much because I am an ardent secularist. I believe in the necessity of a secular republic. I don't think religion and the republic should mix. I think that's a bad place to be, okay? That being said, this should affect for example, as a supporter of a secular republic, I support individual religious affiliation and individual religious freedom. There are some things I draw the line on. I think that if one person's religious freedom begins to interfere with other people's freedom, I think you need to, take a look at that, and maybe in those situations, maybe law enforcement needs to get involved. But that already happens in a lot of cases, such as with cults and things of that nature. But Israeli leader halts bill against Christian proselytizing. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Wednesday said he would prevent the passage of a proposal by a powerful ally in his governing coalition to punish Christians for proselytizing with jail time. To punish Christians for proselytizing with jail time. Remember, Jesus Christ told his followers to be fishers of men, to convert people, to proselytize people, to heal people, to cast out, demons and all that jazz. So what they want is they want to illegalize Christians from being Christian in Israel. Now remember, Bethlehem is what? It's the birthplace of Christianity. Do you think that Gaza has this view on Christianity? Being that there's a lot of Palestinian Christians? I doubt it. I would assume that Gaza has a more inclusive understanding of Christianity, being that Palestinians can and are Muslim, Christian, Druze, and Samaritans. Samaritans are the true Israelites, for God's sake. So the proposal had raised an uproar with evangelical Christians, as it should have. As it should have raised an uproar with evangelical Christians, one of Israel's strongest and most influential supporters in the United States. Yes, this is what needs to happen, is every single individual Christian, but it was probably only the Christians in Israel that actually gave a shit. The Christians in the United States need to start looking at this shit and going, whoa, 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 these people are trying to outlaw our existence. If we exist the way that we are supposed to exist, they want to put us in prison, is what these people need to be asking themselves. So keep that in mind, okay? We're going to move forward here. So this is from the Middle East Monitor. This is prior to the bill being stopped. It's saying Christians will face jail in Israel for proselytizing under proposed bill. Christians could face 1 year in prison for practicing Christianity. Okay? If you proselytize, if you become a fisher of men, as Christ told his followers, you will go to prison for a year in Israel. Well, not now, because the bill was stopped, due to the fact that Netanyahu understood that the financial income of Israel would dry up when moronic Christian Zionists woke up to the fact that Zionism is openly and ardently anti-Christian and against the existence of Christians and the practice of Christianity. Moving forward. Now, I'm a firm believer that it's far, far, far more dangerous to police speech and to censor speech than it is to allow for a marketplace of ideas and freedom of speech and what have you. I think that open communication needs to be fostered. I think that Gab is a perfect platform to foster open and honest conversations if people are willing to, okay? Now, certain groups of people, they want warning labels on the Bible, claiming the Bible is anti-Semitic, okay? So they want page margins in Bibles that should include warnings to highlight passages which have been used to encourage anti-Semitism, Jewish leaders say. Now, what I find humorous about this, what this will do is this will just make it an easier time for any Christian pastor that wants to point out the issues that Jesus Christ and his followers had throughout history and throughout biblical history with the Pharisees. Now, I want you to understand, the Jewish people of the Bible are not the Jewish people of today. These are completely different groups of people. Although the Pharisees were the beginnings of rabbinic Judaism, they're still not Jewish people. Jewish people date, I believe it's to the 1200s. I'd really have to look into that, but the modern Jewish people only date to about the 1200s as far as the religion as we know it today is, or as Jewish people know it, I should say. So what you have to understand is the Pharisees, the people mentioned in the Bible, are not Jewish. The people prior to the Pharisees are the Israelites. Again, the Israelites are not Jewish. Okay? Jewish is a modern word. The Bible is not stating, you have to keep that in mind. Pharisees, Israelites, not modern-day Jews. So these anti-Semitic warnings seem to be a little weird from a biblical and common sense standpoint anyway. Moving forward. So this is about the same thing. They want Bible publishers and Quran publishers to have warning labels on the New Testament as well as the Quran, explaining that, there's anti-Semitic and homophobic and blah, blah, blah warnings. These books are homophobic and anti-Semitic, yada, yada. This is crazy when you're trying to police speech to this level. This is like Fahrenheit 451 shit. So my karate instructor, my former karate instructor, who never cared about politics before Trump ran for office, but now for some reason is a gung-ho pseudo-conservative that supports Israel. Last I knew about politics is he hated George W. Bush because George W. Bush was against stem cell research and he wanted to get his hands on them fresh stem cells. But let's talk about these Israeli arms exports to China, a growing concern to the U.S. Okay, so my karate instructor famously stated that Israel helps out the United States. Do they? No, we help out Israel. The U.S. taxpayer, regardless of their religion, whether they're evangelical, Roman Catholic, secular, atheist, or maybe they're Jewish and oppose Israel, because a lot of Jews oppose Israel. Look up the True Torah Jews. Look up Jews for Peace. Okay? That's the thing, is a lot of people try to slam me as anti-Semitic. Number one, the Semitic people in the situation between Israel and Gaza are the Palestinians. The Palestinians are the Semites, not the Jews. The Jews are partial Semites. Okay, people need to learn what the Semitic race is before they start throwing around words like anti-Semitic. And I'm also not anti-Jewish. I stand with Jews that stand for freedom of speech. I stand with Jews that stand for the liberation of Palestine peacefully, the peaceful liberation of Palestine. And I stand with Jews that stand with humanity and that are calling for world peace and things of that nature. But does Israel help the United States? Well, by giving U.S. weaponry to China, one of our greatest potential enemies, they could cost us World War III. Okay? A world war that they are instigating. So the United States has reportedly increased pressure on Israel about its arms sales to China. And China has given assurances that it will not export any item that could harm the U.S. security. By giving them any weapon, one bullet that they give to China would be harming U.S. security. U.S. concerns about Israeli arms sales to China have existed for more than a decade and came to head in July of 2000 when the United States persuaded Israel to cancel the sale of Falcon, an advanced airborne early warning system, to China. So they're trying to impede our ability if we need to, say China attacks Taiwan or South Korea or something like that, Israel is trying to impede our ability to strike, which would, of course, be a hindrance, not a help. So when my former karate instructor says Israel helps us, that's not true. They're a hindrance to us, as I've also pointed out with things like the Jonathan Pollard fiasco. Okay, moving forward. So, again, my former karate instructor says Israel helps the United States when we need help militarily. Well, let's look. This is the war in Afghanistan that went from 2001 to 2021. Let's see who the United States allies were in the Afghan war. Okay, you have the Northern Alliance, which is an Afghani alliance. You have the United States, you have the United Kingdom, you have Canada, you have Germany, you have Australia, you have Italy, you have New Zealand, you have Iran. You have the Islamic State of Afghanistan, you have Afghan Transitional Authority, Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, ISAF, I guess that's Islamic State of Afghan, whatever. United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, this is going on year by year, Australia, Italy, New Zealand, France, Turkey, Georgia, Jordan, Bulgaria, Poland, Romania, Spain, the Czech Republic, Macedonia, Denmark, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Finland, Croatia, Hungary, Norway, Lithuania, Mongolia, the United Arab Emirates, Belgium, Portugal, Slovakia, the Netherlands, Montenegro, Latvia, Sweden, Albania, Ukraine, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Greece, Ireland, Iceland, Estonia, Austria, Malaysia, Slovenia, Colombia, Switzerland, Bahrain, El Salvador, Luxembourg, South Korea, Tonga, Singapore, resolute support, High Council of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. Okay? None of them are Israel. Not one of these groups is Israel, is it? That's giving us support? No. Okay. Now let's take a look at the Iraq war here. Okay, so we have, on our first phase, we went in with the United States, Iraqi Kurdistan, United Kingdom, Australia, Iraqi National Congress, and Poland. Second phase, Iraq, United States, United Kingdom, MNF, I don't know what that is, Iraqi Kurdistan, the Awakening Council. Then it was, okay, so let's go, moving forward. So this is a former United States citizen named Jonathan Pollard that stole United States information on Arab troop movements and gave them to Israel. His name is Jonathan Pollard. He was released under the Bush administration to the care of Israel. He received a life prison sentence for treason against the United States. He did commit treason, and he was found guilty of treason. And he says, now, I don't want people to think that I'm saying this. This is not me saying this. This is Jonathan Pollard saying this. This is from the Jerusalem Post. Jonathan Pollard said, Jews will always have dual loyalty and should consider spying for Israel. If you're outside Israel, see, he's trying to radicalize other members of the diaspora in the United States to work against the United States for Israel. Okay, so my former karate instructor and many Trump supporters like to say, Israel helps us. Does this sound like they're helping us when you're trying to radicalize other members of your diaspora to work against the United States as spies? If you're outside Israel, then you live in a society in which you are basically considered unreliable. Jonathan Pollard, the convicted spy for Israel, whose story haunted the American Jewish community's relations with the U.S. government for decades, is unrepentant. He's boastful as well. The bottom line on this charge of dual loyalty is, this is what he said. He said, I'm sorry, we're Jews, and if we're Jews, we will always have dual loyalty. Pollard said in an interview published Thursday in Israel Hayom, his first extensive remarks. Now, what's crazy about this, now, I am not anti-Semitic. I used to think I was. Then I educated myself, and I realized it's not the majority of Jewish people that have these crazy ideas. However, if you read the book Bolshevism, From Moses to Lenin, by a gentleman named Dietrich Eckhart, you will see why people like Jonathan Pollard give credence to these people that support anti-Semitism. Because they are saying things like the bottom line is that, the Jews always have dual loyalty. Okay? This is crazy. And this is why, this is what fosters and promotes anti-Semitism, is people that are promoting this idea here that, that all Jews are